LSU. I said, they ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up, hey. 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 Way down in the back.
T.A. Merry Christmas.
You're supposed to say we laugh.
I said Merry
You
Christmas.
ruined
instead.
it. You ruined it.
It's Christmas
You
time.
ruined the tradition, man. In a time that is full of tradition, you ruined the tradition.
I said Merry Christmas.
T.A. We live. Merry Christmas. It's okay. I forgive you. That's all.
Wow. Look at this setup. I mean, look at this backdrop here. If you can't tell, this is the LSU Christmas tree. We're doing our show here in front of, kind of festive. I guess we're
A little festive.
being a little Christmassy. That's
We
why
try to be.
That's why I said Merry Christmas. That's why I said Merry Christmas. No, I'm kidding. Anyways,
Merry Christmas.
welcome to the show, everybody. Appreciate y'all joining in. Lots to talk about, Zach. I mean, lots to conversate about. There's been a lot going on around LSU football. Obviously, basketball has played a few games, and they're headed into SEC play. So we got a lot to cover. Players leaving, players returning, players coming in. So, I mean, obviously, Zach.
Winning some recruits, losing some recruits.
Sure. Obviously, so the 21st yesterday was early National Signing Day, and of course, ever since the early period has become a thing, I mean, that's when
It's really National Signing Day.
it's
I didn't
National
even
Signing
put
Day.
early National Signing Day because it's really National Signing Day.
yeah, it's the
That's what
day.
it's come to this point.
It's the day most players sign, and I mean, I get it. Like football for most people is over in high school. Like at this point, even state championships are over with at this point. I mean, I know most of the Louisiana ones have already played, if not all of them. So, I mean, why would you not sign if you're ready to roll? Like your football season's over with. If you're a senior, like, I mean, it will always and forever be the day that most of the signees will sign from now on.
Yeah.
And boy, I mean, LSU had a huge day, Zach. I mean, a massive day. You had 25 commits and you had 25 signees. Now, we had 25 committed. 24 of those 25 signed to LSU, and we picked up an extra one along the way. We got a little Merry Flipmas going on for the Tigers with one of the players. Obviously, we signed all 24 of our original commits. Dalen Austin was the one who did not sign. He flipped his commitment to Oregon.
Which Oregon, they're looking pretty good right now.
Well, shoot. Well, you know, it felt like they had won the day. Maybe they had won the day. But especially with the Peyton Bowen one, that has become quite a I don't know what you call it, controversial thing. I mean, he was committed to Notre Dame for forever. Comes to the table, commits to Oregon, and flips his commitment today to Oklahoma.
Pretty wild.
He comes to the table, committed to Notre Dame, puts on the Oregon hat, and then he doesn't sign his national letter of intention.
Pretty confusing.
And so this is the world we're now in with NIL, and I guess Oklahoma swooped in and finished it off. I mean, how do you get from? I mean, it has to be something with NIL, right? For Peyton Bowen to do that, like for him to literally come to the table, announce Oregon, and then the day later he's going to Oklahoma.
I mean, yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, even today, like with the whole Desmond Ricks thing, which we'll get more into, like the dude, basically said he's like, "I'm excited to be a Tiger." And then
at the end of the video,
he
bro.
caught him. He had to catch himself and was like,
Excited to be a Tiger. I mean,
it's tied. So seems like he was. I mean, we know he was pretty much on LSU, and then Bama kind of came in behind the scenes. And it's all good because, obviously we'll cover how LSU made up for it today. But,
no kidding.
It's a wild time for National Signing Day, NIL, all of that plays a factor into what aspired yesterday.
Yeah, no question. Seemingly overnight, Desmond Ricks was pushed to Alabama.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, I guess they offered him a bag. This is what it seems like. Hate it. You would love to got a talent like Desmond Ricks. Would have been an incredible player. Will be an incredible player, I believe. But we'll see how it plays out. You never know. A guy like Aaron Anderson, who's a massive recruit coming out of the state of Louisiana, commits to Alabama in the coaching change. Wow, lo and behold, LSU has a great year. He has an injury and kind of sits out for part of the year. He goes to transfer portal. He's Tiger.
Yeah.
So you never know. Desmond Ricks may be in the portal next year, and LSU can haul him in. You never know. That's how it is these days. That's just how it is. So let's talk about Zach. Obviously, the recruits who did sign. Your biggest surprise of the day, if you will. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Is it Kamorian?
The tight end, from
Kamorian Pimpton, out of Fort Worth, Texas. Flips from Vanderbilt to LSU. He is now LSU's highest rated tight end in the class. You had, is it Mac Markway or Mark Macway?
Mac Markway.
Mac Markway. I always get those confused. So you had Mac Markway and Jackson McGowan also signed. But Pimpton is your highest rated tight end in that class. So big flip for LSU, and they'd really made a push there late to get that flip. So Zach, out of the 25 that signed yesterday, which I think it was a great day for the time. Regardless of Desmond Ricks, Zach, you signed an incredible class. Yeah. This class is chock full of talent. I believe right now you currently have a top 5 class or top 6.
I'm pretty sure it's at 6 right now.
So
per 247.
Okay, per 247, you're top 6. So you have a great class and you're full of talent. Guys like Jaylen Brown, guys like Shelton Sampson that are going to add to your elite receiver room. DBs like Taviano, Ashton Stamps, Ryan Yates, Jeremiah Hughes, all of those guys. Michael Daughtry. Yeah, you have a great. You're chock full of talent, and I think you got some underrated guys like DJ Chester, or excuse me, Mubinga.
Yeah.
And I think I really like. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank on his name. I think Ashton Stamps is very underrated.
Yeah, he's a
3-star out of Rummel. He went toe to toe with Shelton Sampson in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and it was not one-sided. It was a battle.
Yeah,
between Stamps and Sampson. I think you're getting a really underrated recruit with him. That's the guy, the Christian. Is it Braithwaite?
Braithwaite.
Braithwaite. I think
say it.
He is very
Braithwaite.
Underrated linebacker. You got him to flip from Baylor a few weeks back. Zach, who's your I guess favorite guys in this class? What do you think of this class and what this staff has done to get this class together?
Obviously you can look at the big time offensive linemen like Zalance Hurd, who had a touchdown in his last football game. Because they really need to address certain, and there's areas they need to address. Like tight end, you get 3 tight ends.
Yep.
Like defensive back, you got a handful of defensive backs that are coming as true freshmen. So you also address some needs that you really needed to get done. But I think honestly, what I'm excited for the most in this class is probably the running backs. You got a duo of really highly touted Louisiana running backs and Trey Holly.
Rushing career record, right?
Yep.
Trey Holly.
And Trey Holly and Caleb Jackson.
State of Louisiana.
And look, that running back room next year is going to be stacked.
Yeah, it is.
You have basically everybody returning. We haven't got any official news yet, but we all assume that John Emery will be returning. Josh Williams has already announced he will be returning.
Right.
So your RB1, your RB2 are already returning. I mean, we can assume there's going to be some attrition there because you've got Josh Williams, John Emery, Armani Goodwin, Noah Cain, Trey Holly coming in, and Caleb Jackson coming in. So that's 6 guys.
In the spring, I would expect someone.
I expect somebody to enter, and I would think it would be somebody like Armani. Maybe Noah Cain re-enters the transfer portal. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you keep all 6 of them. And it's like a 2011 type season where you just got running back after running back after running back. But the reason I'm excited about those guys is because I understand that Frank Wilson's philosophy of wanting to do a running back by committee. But honestly, I want to see kind of them get a bell cow. I want to see a running back emerge. You didn't really
kind of take the role.
Yeah, and Josh Williams did a really good job of that this year, but it wasn't like in 2012 when you really didn't know who you had, and then boom, Jeremy Hill emerges, and he's your dog. So I would like to see more of that this year in 2023, the 2023 season. Maybe we don't get that, but I think these 2 guys in the future may give you that opportunity. Yeah, so I'm really excited about the running backs.
No doubt. I think my favorite player in this class and a guy who is probably, in my opinion, well, oh, by the way, what's up, Noah? Welcome to the show, buddy. Appreciate you joining in. So Deshaun Womack.
Yeah, I mean he's the highest rated player in your class. Am I correct? Maybe it's the Lance Hurd.
So Lance Hurd may be ahead of him.
Deshaun Womack or Lance Hurd? Let's go check it out. I'll go check it out.
Deshaun is going to be your jack. He's going to play the jack position. He's very well.
He's your new BJ Ojulari.
I was about to say he very well could be a day 1 starter in replacement of BJ, who is now headed to the NFL draft.
LSU sits at number 7 currently. In 247's
number 7.
Yeah, 247's composite.
Who they got?
So Lance Hurd is the top
5-star.
5-star with Deshaun Womack, then Shelton Sampson, then Javen Taviano, then Jaylen Brown. Currently, Alabama sits at 1. They have 7 5-stars.
Good grief.
Georgia sits at 2 with 2 5-stars. Texas at 3 with 4. Miami at 4 with 3. Oklahoma at 5 with 3, Ohio State at 6 with 1, LSU at 7 with 1. So, and they're not quite done. They're still going to make a push, obviously, until it is all said and done. So this may not be the end, but either way, really good class for LSU.
Oh man, I mean solid. But yeah, Deshaun is my favorite player in this class. I think he could be I don't want to make comparisons, but he could be the guy that emerges like Harold Perkins does this year as a true freshman. I also think Taviano could make an immediate impact. Considering how thin your DB room is, considering that, essentially all these guys are in the portal, like Ray Darius Jones, Darius McGee. You got guys leaving, Bernard Converse, Mekhi Garner. He could very well make an immediate impact as well. Womack and Taviano, I think, are your most immediate impact guys in this class.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of, simply the need at their position. One, number two, they're elite players at their position.
Yeah.
Zach, I don't know if you know this or not, but Deshaun Womack has completely dominated when he plays. And people will be like, well, it's high school. What's the talent level he's playing against? Their school's arch rival is IMG. And he still does what he typically does against IMG. Like, the talent he's going up against are guys who are going to Division I schools, who are going to compete at the highest level. And so Deshaun Womack, I think, is a guy who is tested already against high talent, and it's not just a guy who's bullying some high school player who isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, they're playing IMG. They're playing a Division I high school pro. Like,
They're playing D1.
Like, so I'm really excited about him. And of course, Taviano playing in the state of Texas where he plays, and Martin, I mean, he's playing top talent all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time. He's looking at great guys. So those are your most immediate impact guys. Zach, what was the most important recruit that we got?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I wouldn't say that there is one specific. I guess if I have to pinpoint it, my mind immediately goes to Zalance Hurd.
Yeah.
LSU, I think the future is very, very bright and looks really, really good.
Yeah.
For offensive line, and we know that in the SEC, in order to win, you have to dominate the trenches.
Yep.
And they have already really well established themselves, with Will Campbell and Emory Jones.
Yeah.
And now you just add another piece to that overall puzzle that's going to help in fortifying the offensive line. And hey, look, I don't know if you saw it, but Zalance Hurd was like, I'm going to be the left guard.
Left tackle.
And they're like, the left tackle. I'm sorry. He's like, I'm going to be the left tackle. And I'm like,
Will Campbell's played pretty well.
They got a guy named Will Campbell. He's like, yeah, I know Will. I'm going to be the left tackle.
I mean, they were teammates.
Yeah.
They were teammates.
So, what I love about that is there's a drive and there's going to be some competition there between those guys. Obviously, It's going to be, good sportsman-like, friendly competition.
No doubt.
But look, he wants to come and he wants to make an immediate impact as a freshman in the same way that Will did, in the same way that Embry did. And I love that.
Yeah.
And I think, with the news that we got today, which we'll get to here at the end of the show, that's going to help the offense. And I do think he is a freshman that comes in and makes an immediate impact. You can also mention not just one simple recruit, but the fact that, as you've already alluded to and discussed a little bit, that you field the biggest amount of players that you got were in two specific areas, and they were in two specific areas of need, which was at tight end, at defensive back, and you even shored up some defensive line issues with you losing a few guys already from this past year's football team, and BJ and Jaquelin Roy and other guys and obviously Ali Gay is out of his eligibility. So I don't know if you can just really pinpoint it to one person, but I think if I had to say it, it would probably be Zalance Hurd.
Yeah.
But defensively, man, they did a really good job of filling needs.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I would agree Zalance Hurd is your most important. Not only is he, could be an immediate impact, a great competition for the team type of player. He's 5-star, but he's from the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
You better bring that guy in.
Exactly.
And to add to that, 2 guys in Baton Rouge. 3, right? Or is there 4? But specifically, Trey Holly, Shelton Sampson, and Ricky Collins.
Yeah.
You need to bring the best guys in Baton Rouge. Caleb Jackson's from Baton Rouge as well.
Shelton Sampson, Caleb Jackson.
It should be Trey Holly and
Ricky Collins. And is that it?
Trey Holly. Union Parish.
Let's see. I guess I already said Trey Holly.
No, you did. So it's 4 guys.
Yeah,
4 guys.
No, he's from Farmerville, Louisiana. But he plays for Union Parish.
Yeah, I was going to say Union Parish. Anyways, so
if you're being real specific.
Right. So you need to bring in the guys, right there, in your own backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great to see Ricky Collins, I guess it's been a few months or so ago.
Yeah.
Ricky Collins, decommit from Purdue, commit to LSU, sign. Shelton Sampson, a in my opinion, he's a 5-star receiver. It seems like every time LSU signs a 5-star, somehow or another they wind up a 4-star at the end of the signing period. I don't know what that's about. It happened to Walker Howard. It happened to Will Campbell.
The Bama bump and and the Bama dump.
Yeah.
If you go to Bama, you get bumped. If you don't go to Bama, you get dumped.
Jaylen Brown, he's a 5-star out of Miami. He signs to LSU. Next recruiting rankings come out, he's a 4-star. Shelton Sampson, 5-star out of Baton Rouge, signs to LSU or commits to LSU. All of a sudden, he's not. Anyways, but he's a 5-star in my eyes. Shelton Sampson, that was a huge get. Yeah, because Bama was pushing. Bama was pushing for him, and it infuriates me how Saban comes into the state of Louisiana and just pushes and pushes sometimes. And I mean, he steals sometimes. He does. Eli Holstein, I mean, guy in Zachary, Louisiana. You have his teammate Kylan Jackson committed to your school. He's going to, Eli Holstein. He's going to Bama. You hate that aggravates me. So like good players, especially within Baton Rouge, you want to bring them in and make sure they're a Tiger. Keep them home. So I think this is a great class. Super talented. I think the staff has done an excellent job. Obviously, I don't think they're finished yet. They're not done in the portal, I don't think either. And we'll get to that in just a second. But Zach, what does it mean for this class? Brian Kelly said in his press conference, 15 of these guys are enrolling early.
Yeah.
15. I think that's the most I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think I ever remember seeing 15 in the years that I've been watching LSU football. It's definitely huge. But, I mean, Brian Kelly also mentioned, even though you got these guys enrolling early, the benefit is you're going to go ahead and begin to start that process of developing them and getting them ready for the 2023 season and infiltrating them into the team. But he did make it very clear that they were not going to participate in bowl practice because
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
I'm okay with that.
Because he wants
why would they?
He wants to have this team that he has right now to focus on this game.
Yeah.
And getting the job done and getting the 10th win of the season. So I'm totally fine with that. I mean, if they were practicing, I wouldn't have a problem with it either way. But I totally get and understand why he has them, not participating.
Yeah. And also, like, Brian Kelly talked a lot about, which I think this had to do with him being new to the program last year, but he talked a lot about teaching to practice right, practicing the right way. And when you have freshmen coming in, you got to teach them that, how to practice the right way. He talked about that a lot, when he came in and, was establishing his, coaching style and system into practice. He said a lot in his press conferences, we got to learn to practice the right way. That's what we're teaching them right now. And you don't want to do that when you're prepping for a bowl. Like, you don't want true freshmen coming in, signing early, and you're trying to have to teach how to practice the right way.
You want the coaches' folks to be on the players
on the bowl game,
that are going to be playing in the bowl game.
Teach them how to practice right in the spring, and I think that's what they'll be doing. And so I totally agree with the call there, and I like it. Great class. Hats off to this staff and Brian Kelly. They've killed it this year so far, and they're not done. They've been recruiting the transfer portal as well. So let's kind of transition here, Zach, from the freshmen, the signees. To the portal. LSU has kind of been killing it in the portal.
Last 2 days, yeah.
Kind of been killing it. I'll let you kind of take the lead on the guys there and who's come in. But it's been exciting. It's been really exciting for the portal so far. And sounds like they're not done, Zach. Sounds like they're not done.
No, they're not done. I mean, Brian Kelly said they would get around 8 to 10 guys, and I think that was going to be by Friday. So they've already gotten 5?
I think he said 8 to 10 like total, and right now they have like 6. So I don't know if that'll mean we're going to hear 2 more by tomorrow sometime.
Maybe I heard differently, but I might be wrong. But there might be some more coming tomorrow.
You're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong, but I think people like he said some. I think in one question, they were like, let's talk about the transfer portal. And he was like, today is the day about, the national signees. We'll have 8 to 10 and we'll talk about that Friday. So I think people naturally were like, oh, we're going to hear some, like, we're going to have 8 to 10 by Friday. But I don't think that's what he meant. I think he meant
maybe I'm wrong. I
8
thought
to
that's
10
what I heard.
total, and he'll talk about it Friday.
We'll see either way.
I would love that. I would love to hear 2 more at least.
Yeah. RV, obviously, yesterday you kind of had like a boom, 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 like really.
That was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was pretty cool. You did get the commit from Bo Bordelon's brother. Is it Brent?
Brett
Bordelon. You got his commitment yesterday. Kind of a legacy there with that family in LSU.
Right.
And then not long following that, you had Jalen Lee. Is it Marcus Swinton? I'm going to blank on the first name.
Oh, the Oregon guy?
The Oregon guy.
Braden Swinson.
Okay. Braden Swinson. And then Paris Shan. 3 guys on the defensive line, which, again, you shored up what you needed, which was some more depth. Because they not only did they need some players to actually come and start potentially, but they needed more depth. Like, you had your guys this year that were going to be your starters, but you didn't have any depth as well. And so coming into this next season, you had lost your starters, and the depth still wasn't there.
Right.
Like, you had Desmond Little, he left. Obviously, Mason Smith's going to be back next year, which is going to be massive. I mean, think about this. You're going to have Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo on the interior.
In the middle. Yeah, it's going to be freakish.
Like,
it's going to be a lot.
Those dudes are massive. Yep. And not only they're massive, but they get a lot of push. They're very athletic. Like, LSU's defensive line, if you can shore up the edges, which we can assume Deshaun
Womack, Swinson.
We can assume Deshaun Womack,
Jackson
Swinson,
Howard.
Jackson, like, those guys are going to come in and make immediate impacts. If you can shore up these edges, LSU's defensive line could look really, really good next year.
Oh, yeah.
The interior is going to be there. Can you get the guys on the X? You got the guys. Can they execute? Can they perform to what we want to see and what we expect to see out of them?
Right.
So that's going to be the biggest question mark going, I think, probably defensively outside of DBs. That's going to be a huge question mark going into next season. So you get the 3 guys yesterday and shore up some of that depth and get some potentially starters. Maybe I would assume maybe Swinson is going to be vying for a starting job.
He was a starter at Oregon.
He was a starter at Oregon, so maybe he's going to be one of those guys that starts on the edge.
Yeah.
I would assume Deshaun Womack is going to be the other guy that starts on the edge. We'll see.
Well, it's kind of early.
It's very early. We got to see who emerges. But then obviously today, the biggest one yet.
Oh, no doubt.
In another position group of massive need at corner, you get who is going to be a starter. I would very much assume he is going to be the starter.
Oh, no question.
You get Denver Harris, which is a former 5-star, 23rd overall ranked prospect in his class. We obviously know about the situation that happened with Texas A&M. He's gotten into some trouble, got suspended. But listen, y'all. There's no way that Brian Kelly would allow this to happen unless he had confidence that they can work with this young man and get him to where they want to be with his character and as a player on the field and off the field. Look, you had guys that when Brian Kelly came in the program, they left the program because they didn't want to abide by and adhere to what Brian Kelly was doing at LSU.
Right.
They were so used to this laid back and relaxed environment that Ed Orgeron allowed, and that's just the way he was. And Brian Kelly comes in, he wants to make it more of a professional business type ran program, be more strict, more disciplined. We're going to focus on the classroom as well as football. His whole thing is graduating champions. That academics and character along with football. He wants to tie that all together. So look, There's no way that they take on Denver Harris unless Brian Kelly believes that they can work with this young man and move past. And look, he's a kid. Like, he was a true freshman last year on a bad team, was promised a lot of things, didn't get everything he was promised, probably, and was on a bad team. And so, look, I kind of understand it. I mean, we've all been there before. I mean, me and Reagan are not very far removed from that age.
Yeah.
I'm about to be 26. Reagan's 23.
Yeah.
Reagan's 23. Our buddy Kenny here is 23, which, by the way, we have to give a round of applause to our buddy Kenny. He is running the show for us in this new setup. He was extremely nervous, freaking out. He was like, I don't know what to do. It's all good, bro. I got you. So we give him a round of applause. So, hey, if you're watching, I know we probably have a lot of viewers on Twitter, which we typically do. Switch on over to YouTube, comment, give us a like, and we would greatly appreciate it. So, yeah, massive get for the Tigers, for Brian Kelly to get Denver Harris, a plug-and-play type guy. I mean, he's going to be someone that you can fully expect will be a starter. I would assume Sevyn Banks is going to be on the opposite side of that.
Unless Taviano takes
Unless Taviano really comes on strong. We'll see.
Maybe one of them plays the nickel.
You also have LaTerrence Welch. And look, I love the confidence that LaTerrence Welch has. Yeah. Maybe he has a say-so in that. But I still think they're going to be going after some guys in the transfer portal to shore up.
Oh, I mean, one name you've already been hearing is Zy Alexander.
Yeah.
From southeastern Louisiana. Kind of been hearing some rumblings that he's going to come play for the Tigers. And look.
Potentially tomorrow.
Don't sleep on Zy. This guy's a 2-time FCS All-American. So he can be. He's got offers. You know, he's in the transfer portal. He's got offers from like Oklahoma and like Michigan State.
Power 5.
Like Power 5. You know, high major schools.
And look, last year you went and you got Colby Richardson, who was a guy who –
Mekhi Garner.
And Mekhi Garner, who were guys that came from lower-tier Louisiana schools, and both of them stepped up and played great this year.
Yeah, I love – just speaking of Mekhi Garner, I mean, I don't know if you'll ever see a DB that big again. I mean, he was huge to be playing the defensive back position.
I love
Mekhi.
His swagger. Yeah, I really wish we could have had him another year. And you know what is –
tough as nails.
What does Greg Brooks do? You know,
you
still got guys like Sadra. I know that's not specifically the corner, but kind of those nickel area, nickel corner areas.
I think Greg Brooks comes back. That's just my opinion.
I do too.
I think Greg Brooks comes back for another year.
Yeah.
I think he should. I think it would benefit him.
So where do they go with safety, Nick?
Where do they go with safety? That's a good question.
Because Joe Fouche's done, correct? I've also heard some people talk about Joe Fouche coming back. I'm like, I don't think
he don't have any more eligibility.
He has no eligibility left.
No more eligibility. He had one. He was a one and done. He was one and done. I mean, you got Ryan Yates coming in. You know, maybe Yates can push for that position, vie for that position. Man, I don't know. Safety. Who else will we have back there?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Now that you mentioned that, man. I know you do have Ryan Yates coming in. The Doherty is a safety too, I believe as well.
Yeah, correct.
So those guys you may be playing a true freshman. You know, Brian Kelly made it very well known that he wanted to lean on the freshman class to maybe shore up this defensive back room. And I mean, he just wants to build his team from the freshman class. You don't want to have to go to the portal every single year to fill in spots. You want to build a program that has depth, and you're doing it from your recruiting classes, guys that are there, have years of eligibility, all of these things. Did you mention Aaron Anderson?
Yeah, Aaron Anderson as well, which I was going to say with Aaron, which I know that's kind of – it's been a couple of days since that happened. Was it Tuesday?
Something like that, yeah.
So, I mean, it's been a pretty good couple of days here recently for
Aaron
LSU.
Anderson, man.
Here's the thing with Aaron Anderson. You get a guy that you haven't really had, which is a take-the-top-off receiver. And not only that, but he's really good at special teams. And you have not been able to have a guy that is a a really good return man. Like you tried out Malik Neighbors. We all know how that went in the first game of the season. That ended pretty quickly. Unfortunately for Malik, he bounced back. He's a great wide receiver. No slack on him.
Yeah, Malik's. I think honestly, I think Malik would have been okay if he would have kept playing.
If they would have kept trying him. Yeah. You tried out Jack Besh. That didn't go so well. You went back and you went to Michael Gregory twice, and Michael Gregory was honestly just a guy back there that you say, hey, just don't drop the football. Right. And he did he never dropped the football. He did a great
job. Yeah, he did.
Never dropped the football.
And Noah Cain did a decent job at returning kicks.
So you really, and as we know, special teams was just brutal. It was miserable
It was bad.
to watch. So to go back a little bit, you kind of also probably get some help on the special teams unit from this incoming class.
No doubt.
But Aaron Anderson is a game-changing type player when it comes to special teams. And I would assume that him and a healthy Chris Hilton will probably be looked at and get some involvement there on special teams, whether it be punt return or kickoff return. I would love to see Chris Hilton and Aaron Anderson be those guys at those positions. But as I said, another big get for LSU, and I take the top off receiver, which you need.
So I get that's 5, right? Where's the 6th guy? We were saying 6 earlier. There's the 3 defensive linemen that were back to back. Aaron Anderson,
Denver Harris. Aaron Anderson.
What was the 6th? I felt like there's one more.
We have to go. Let me go look at it.
I felt we're missing one somewhere.
If you know, comment. Who are we missing? We also have Major Burns.
Major Burns. Oh, yeah.
Major Burns.
Have him back for safety.
Matthew Langlois, but they're still pretty thin at safety.
Yeah, really.
Now that I look at it.
Major Burns. Absolutely. He's coming back for another year for sure. Well, I think he's going to come back either way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's coming back. Yeah.
I don't think he was a senior or like anything like that. So, anyway, obviously he'll be a guy to look forward to kind of compete for that starting role. Played really well at the beginning of the season. And
they only have 5.
Only 5 transfers? Well, I don't know why I thought there were 6. Anyways, just a few more little tidbits about transfers. Josiah Stewart, one of the guys that was on 2 guys that were on my wish list was Dominic Lovett and Josiah Stewart. Really wish we could have got Josiah Stewart out of Coastal Carolina. We made his final 3 schools. Ultimately chose Michigan over LSU. Man, he would have been a massive addition to our defensive line. Yeah. I really hate that we missed on him. Not too upset about Dominic Lovett. He's going to Georgia, but you got Aaron Anderson. So that was you were expected to get a portal receiver.
Yeah.
That was kind of the word. They were going to go for one portal receiver. You got Aaron Anderson. And personally, at the time, Aaron Anderson wasn't in the portal. So, that wasn't when I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Aaron Anderson announced he's going to the portal. Obviously, he's going to be my wish list over Lovett. He's a Tiger, bro. He should have been a Tiger since day one. Aaron Anderson was committed to LSU for months and essentially said, hey, if Coach O's gone, I'm going to Bama. And that's what happened. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I bet you Shaz Preston would have been a tight, like Aaron Anderson, Shaz Preston, and Kendrick Law. All those guys last year that we lost out of the state of Louisiana, all 3 to freaking Alabama, probably would have been Tigers, if you don't lose Edo, which I'll take losing 3 recruits for Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I'm good with it too.
And you get one of them back in Aaron Anderson. So really pumped about him. Zach, by the way, I was looking on Twitter. Looks like there's going to be some more portal commits tomorrow.
I told you.
Looks like it is.
I told you. Hey, which by the way, with the portal,
that's just conversation. That's not like
just to update everybody. And I'm going down through 247. The guys that have come to LSU that are leaving LSU. So from the top, Jayden Davis Robinson has yet to make a decision. He is transferring out of LSU. Xavier Hill, the former Olive Branch.
Yeah, he's going to Memphis.
He's going to Memphis.
Welcome home, Hill.
He's coming back home to Memphis. So that's
the
pretty
former
cool.
conquistador.
Yeah, right down the road.
Right down the road.
Right down the road. East of us. Marcus Dumerville, he is going to Maryland.
I expected him to leave. He was a pretty highly touted tackle that hasn't, out of St. Aquinas, that hasn't played at all.
I see this question like all the time, like Cardell Thomas, where's he at? What is he doing? Like,
I'm surprised that man ain't going to the portal, bro.
Is he even?
What is he?
Is he still at LSU?
Yes, he is. He
crazy.
is, bro. He played in a few games.
Derek Davis has yet to make a decision.
started.
Obviously, you got Aaron Anderson. Cam Wire is going to Tulane. Kobe Fields has yet to make a decision. Cole Taylor has yet to make a decision. Desmond Little, which I hated to see Desmond Little go. I don't know if we've addressed.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. Like, maybe they convinced him to come back to compete for some edge.
He could
because they talked highly of him. They talked highly of him.
He could potentially be a starter. So maybe there's more to the story there than
maybe so.
Than playing time. Ray Darius Jones, another former
from Horn Lake,
former kind of DeSoto County area guy. He's going to Mississippi State.
Returning home.
Jalen Lee returning home to LSU from Florida.
Absolutely.
Demarius McGee has yet to make a decision. Jack Best went to TCU. What do you think about that? I think it's a good.
I think it's a great spot for Besh. I hated to see Besh go. He was kind of a fan favorite last year in the midst of some crappy, a crappy season. He was.
Yeah.
Jack Besh was your spotlight last year. I hate to see him go, but I'm happy for him to go to TCU. Sonny Dykes is a great coach.
He really is.
He's got the TCU playoffs his first year. Jack Best will excel in that offense. He'll do great.
Denver Harris, which we already talked about. Antoine Sampa leaving LSU. He's yet to make a decision. Paris Shan. We've mentioned him.
Arizona.
He's also he's a guy with a lot of experience. He's been in Arizona for 3 years.
Yeah.
Braden Swinson, the starter at Oregon, coming to LSU. Philip Wedd yet to make a decision. And Jordan Tolles is going to Montana. Or maybe Montana.
No. Jordan Tolles transferred at the beginning of the season, went to Morgan State. And he's in the portal again.
He's in the
portal again.
So anyways,
that's where it's
that's your up-to-date transfer portal.
It sounds like you're going to get some more tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
From all indications, it looks like you will be getting some more guys tomorrow. Yeah. So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah. One guy, man. Okay, so you've landed Denver Harris, obviously. If you go out and land.
They're not getting them.
Who do you think I'm about to say?
Central Cyprus?
Yes, bro.
You're not.
I know they're not getting it. Who do you think he's going to?
Ohio State. He's crystal ball to Ohio State.
Really? I heard there was like early push, like they had offered him an NIL deal. Then there's like been nothing recently.
I mean, there probably just wasn't interest there from his. Let me go look at this real quick. Let's see.
What up, Jacob?
Portal, top football. Who's Jacob?
Jacob? We graduated with him.
Man, we
graduated with him. He said thanks for Radar Jones. You're welcome.
Central.
I'm happy for him because things haven't worked out for him at LSU. So I'm happy for him.
He's the number 4 guy in the transfer portal coming out of Virginia. He was crystal ball to Ohio State. Now I don't see anything.
That's what I was saying. Like I saw either today or yesterday, like there was the initial push, and it's kind of falling quiet all of a sudden. And it sounds like I know that LSU has made contact.
For sure.
So man, if you were to somehow pull that off, Denver Harris and Fintrow,
number 3 and number 4,
shoot,
the top 2 guys in the top 5. Yeah.
Shoot. Now that guy.
That's your 2 guys.
Yeah, I mean they'd be on the island.
Lock down, bro.
And then you have Taviano in the back
and LaTerrence Welch.
Gosh, who would play your nickel?
Greg Brooks or Sage Ryan?
Ryan. Greg Brooks played the safety, the other fit safety position.
Probably Sage Ryan then.
Yeah.
Greg Brooks might drop down. I don't know. I've heard Greg Brooks may drop down.
Okay.
We'll see.
Anyway, so that's your portal update. Zach, well, we'll get to that next. We'll get to that. That's whatever you call it. Extra.
How do you call it? Lagniappe?
Lagniappe, something like that.
Try to get some LSU Lagniappe. But
first, hit a quick break, yeah. We'll hit a quick break. We'll come back. right after this to wrap it. Well, not to wrap it up. Do our last segment. 5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all his other music on all the major platforms. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and at Twitter at One Nation Doty. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page for all his Saints and LSU merchandise. Can't get any better than Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Her firm focuses on the needs of the elderly and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. David Lammy. Is this your daddy, Jacob? I'm Reagan. I'm Reagan. What's up, David?
And I am surprisingly Reagan's older brother, Zach.
That's Zach. So, by the way, Jacob, David, I'm guessing you're related to Jacob. I'm guessing you're his dad, maybe. To both of you, man, my heart's broken for the Mississippi State community, Zach.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate that Mike Leach, I hate this for his family.
Which I don't know if you saw the recruits that was like, hey, like, we are the last guys.
He was recruited.
That Leach wanted to come and be a part of this program. Why not? Why?
I love that. I love that
too. Like, I love that they're getting guys. Like, you would think in this situation there would be a lot of attrition. Like, they're getting guys, and they're getting guys from the portal. Obviously, Ray Darius.
Yeah.
So,
they got Kamari Rogers from Miami. He was one of the top DBs, I think, in last year's class. And he hit the portal, and he signed with State. I was like, holy cow. I mean, that was a huge pickup for them.
Look at it.
So, anyways, hate that for all Mississippi State fans and, of course, for the Leach family. So, Zach, a little something extra. Big announcement today. Jayden Daniels is coming back.
Running back.
I guess this would be his last eligibility.
This is his last.
This is his COVID year.
Well, I guess technically, he could have another year. He could have the COVID year. Okay. No, I think you're right. Is there another year? I feel like he could have another year.
He would have to like redshirt or medical redshirt or something like that.
No, you're right.
He played as a freshman, so this is it for him.
Yeah.
Running back, JD.
This is what it is.
Man, Zach. So I saw this. Is there any quarterback in the SEC returning that is better than Jayden Daniels?
Will Levis is gone, which I know I started with that one, but
I was supposed to say that's where you started.
Let me do this properly. Bryce Young is gone.
Stetson
Bennett is gone. KJ Jefferson is gone.
No, he's not. KJ
Jefferson's coming back.
Yeah, but I still think Jayden.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's coming back.
I did not know that.
Is Will Rogers gone? Jacob.
Will Rogers is gone. I'm pretty positive.
Jacob, is Will Rogers gone?
I'm like 99.9% sure he's gone.
Okay.
Hendon Hooker's gone.
Yeah, Hooker's gone.
Right?
Yep.
I mean,
Will Levis is gone.
Will Levis is gone. Who else? Is that it?
I think that's. Yeah.
I don't really keep up with the other guys.
I don't think Jackson Dart.
Vanderbilt's quarterback. I don't keep up with him. Missouri's quarterback, Baselag, or whatever his name is.
He's not better.
I don't keep up with those guys.
So, honestly,
but yeah, I think he's the biggest.
Jayden Daniels could be your best returning quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah,
and honestly, could very well be the Heisman favorite coming into next season.
We got our sister coming. Sierra, yes. We are in a show. Y'all welcome our sister to the house. She has just
got off work.
She's just walked in.
Y'all in the middle of y'all are right by our room.
Yep. Welcome to Tigers Avenue.
I almost fell down the stairs.
Wow. Welcome to Tigers Avenue.
This right here in front of the LSU.
Hey, did you know Jayden Daniels is coming back?
Jayden Daniels is returning for another year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
awesome.
Really? Oh, really?
Shut up, Brandon. I'll beat you with your LSU hat.
Wait. Right. We got some more. Is that David comment in there again? Nice. I've enjoyed you and Jake.
Man,
yes, I love going back and forth with Jacob. Love it.
Kenny in
I have a mutual respect for Mississippi State for the sake of Jacob. I pull for them only. Wait, I said that wrong. I pull for them every time except for when they're playing LSU. I would love to watch Mississippi. Yeah, I would love to watch Mississippi State beat Ole Miss every single time, every year. So, anyways,
As they should.
absolutely.
As they should.
Yeah, I can't stand Ole Miss. I would way rather see State win that every single year. And Mike Leach is going out a winner because of that game. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that is awesome. You can't not be happy about that.
Absolutely. So, Zach, what is the impact of Jayden returning? I mean, how big is that?
I mean, you virtually return every single person on your offense.
Right.
The one single thing you will not be bringing back on your offense is Dre Jenkins, who led you in touchdowns. So it is a pretty big hit. But
wow, Kayshawn's coming back.
But
wow.
Kayshawn's coming back.
Wow.
Malik's coming back. BTJ has come back. Kyron Lacey's come back.
JD's
You just got
back.
Aaron Anderson. Your entire starting offensive line has come back. All of your running backs are coming back, we assume. Because, we assume John Emery is going to come back.
Right.
I don't see any reason why he wouldn't come back. The only other thing that I can see him doing is entering the transfer portal, which I don't think he'll do. And then you get – and the most vital and important piece of a football team you have returning, which is the quarterback. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, I wish it was Nussmeier because of how good he looked in the bowl game.
I don't understand that.
I wish we could move on and go to Walker Howard. Will this affect Walker Howard? All that good stuff. Look, guys.
Some people are thinking he's gone. Like, Walker Howard's gone. Like, chill out. Like,
It's
he's going to be a redshirt freshman next year.
He's a redshirt freshman. And depending on what Garrett does, if Garrett transfers, I'm not saying he is, but if Garrett transfers because of this decision by Jayden Daniels,
so be it.
You can pretty much assume that Garrett will be the guy.
Walker.
Walker Howard will be the guy in 2024. So I wouldn't fret about that right now. Could he leave? Yeah. We live in a day and age of transfer portal quarterbacks like it's nothing. So could he leave? Yes. Am I worried about it right now? Not at all. The reason why this is massive is because with Jayden coming back, you are a legit contender for the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Like a legit contender. Now, the biggest question mark is going to be on the defensive side of the ball. But on the offensive side of the ball, you can contend for a college football playoff.
I mean, number one, you're looking at the best receiving core probably in the country. Definitely the SEC. Ohio State may have a word for that. Their receiving core is very good. Your offensive line is going to be more veteran. Your tight end room just got deeper behind a true freshman coming off on a fantastic season.
Yeah.
Your running back room is deep, and now you return your quarterback.
And talented.
Talented and deep. And Jayden Daniels comes back. Like you're looking at a very veteran, a very seasoned, a very talented offense, and it is poised for a fantastic year next year.
It could very well take off. Like, you had a pretty good year offensively. For what we assumed, we would see this season. I think they excelled in their expectations this year on the offensive side of the ball. So you have all that returning, minus Dre Jenkins. Now you're going to miss Dre because he was like the go-to guy. Like, he was the guy that bailed you out a lot of times. He was the guy that made the plays when you had to. And he's gone. But the talent is definitely there.
Yeah.
So it's massive. I don't understand why there are some LSU fans that are upset about this decision.
Well,
like, it's illogical. It's completely illogical to me.
Here's
there's LSU fans that do not want Jayden to return.
Well, here's why.
It's stupid.
Is they want him to push it downfield, and here's what I'll say. Does Jayden push it down this year? Has he pushed it down the field,
No.
passing-wise, vertically the way he needs to? No. But does that mean you need to discredit him entirely as a quarterback with everything that he's done? Absolutely not. He protected the football very well. He got you out of really bad situations with his feet. At multiple times made big plays when you needed big plays. I look to that 40-yard run against Bama. You look to the 2-point conversion against Bama. The dot pass to Jure Jenkins in the Florida game. I mean, he made big plays and was a very steady hand in the first season for Brian Kelly in this offense. And now you have a guy who has chemistry with this team. He will go through a full off season with this team. Jayden came on campus and had never met any of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, came into spring ball. This is the first time he's mingling with these. Now he's played a season of football with them. They're tied together forever, with this season at LSU. And now he has another year of off season to prepare, to grow even closer, to grow chemistry on the field. I think you see next year a Jayden Daniels who will push the ball vertically. I think that will be an emphasis for him. So to act as if like, oh man, he can't push it vertically, we got to erase him totally. We just got to forget him. Can we just move on from him? Like, do you not think the coaches know what he needs to do better and adjust on? Like, they know they have an elite receiving room, and they know they need to push it downfield. Do you not think they're going to work on that with him?
For sure.
Like, no question they're going to work on that.
And the other thing we have to think about is how late Jayden came in for this season.
Right.
But now he's been here a whole season. He's going to have an entire offseason with this receiving core. Like, it's only going to get better. It is only going to get better. You have to.
It's great.
You have to fully believe that is what they're going to work on in the offseason.
It's a great thing for LSU that he's coming back. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how he improves in spring. And really excited about this offense. I mean, huge. We got a few comments. Brandon Reese, Kenny, if you'll throw those two comments up, that first one. If we get Harbor, I think edge rusher makes sense for him because the tight end room is already stacked. Yeah, if you get Harbor, which I don't know if we get Harbor, it sounds like he's going to kind of a South Carolina lean. I think he's going to sign in February. So maybe LSU can make a big push for him at the end. Looks like he's going to South Carolina right now. But if he does come, absolutely, he's going to the defensive line. Let's get that. Oh, that second one up there. Jayden would be the most experienced quarterback in the SEC next year. No question. No question. I mean, this would be his fifth year essentially starting in Power 5 football.
Yeah.
So really excited about him and his return to LSU. I mean, a big deal. Last thing here, Zach, to discuss. The men's cap off their non-conference season in basketball against East Tennessee State. Zach, another lackluster, ho-hum performance against a team you should be manhandling. I mean, this is a 4-8 East Tennessee State team that you beat them by what, 3 points?
4 points.
4 points.
72-68.
72-68. I mean, it was a fight to the very end against them. I know you got to win against Wake Forest, but you also got to remember you were down 20 points in that game. You made a comeback, and it was awesome, but you play Arkansas next. You go down 20, you're not coming back from that.
Yeah, reality is about to hit for LSU basketball fans. The good news is I don't think there's a lot of expectations for LSU basketball fans right now. And to be honest with you, I've just been watching to enjoy seeing the progress that this team is making, to enjoy this season as it is, and Matt McMahon being, the head coach for his first season. So, you had Will Wade. Look, I'm going to do something corny here. You had Will Wade, and now you got Matt McMahon. You had Will Wade, now you got Matt McMahon.
Oh, no. So, Zach, just maybe a little positive note. Obviously, like it seems like LSU's not. I mean, they're not going to compete to be the top team in the SEC.
I wouldn't assume so. And if they do, then like the football team, you have greatly exceeded expectations.
But reality is you're not. But I will say, like, I'm pretty sure it was either Florida or A&M lost to Wofford the other night. Ole Miss barely squeaked it out against another team that was similar to like a Wofford level team. Mississippi State lost to Drake, which was their first loss of the season, by the way.
Yeah.
So like, there's some teams in the SEC you can beat. So this is just a season you're going to have to watch one game at a time. Take it in one game at a time. It's going to be a progress. It's going to be a build. But hey, you get Arkansas game 1 in the SEC. It's going to be
thank goodness it's at home.
Yeah, it's going to be a rude awakening next.
You're the
Wednesday
same
night.
record, but let me tell you,
yeah,
you're on completely different levels.
Yeah, it don't matter that you're both 11-1. One is way better than the other. So I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise us. That would be the greatest thing ever.
Can you imagine if they beat Arkansas?
Pulled that off. Yeah, I mean that'd be crazy.
I would lose it.
But you got to prepare for the SEC play. Obviously, you can continue to be excited for the women's SEC play that's coming up soon. They're going to be competing for the top spot in the SEC, no question about it. I think it'll come down between them and South Carolina. That's what it looks like.
Look, they also have a ranked matchup against Arkansas.
Yep.
Surprisingly, Arkansas, who was undefeated not long ago, surprisingly, Arkansas has lost their last 2 games in the women's team.
Yeah.
They just lost a game to USF, and they lost a game to Oregon the day before. So they've kind of slipped here recently, whereas LSU women's basketball has kept humming. They played a pretty good quality team in Oregon State. I mean, they're not good, but
I mean, they manhandled
them. It's probably the best team that you played this season.
Manhandled them.
And they manhandled them. You got to go to Arkansas, though, on Thursday. So the men's, they'll play this upcoming Wednesday after Christmas on the 28th. The women's will play on Thursday, the 29th. And I think both of those games come on at 6 on ESPN. Women's at 6 p.m. Thursday on ESPN2. The men's game's at 8 p.m. on Wednesday on ESPN2.
Gotcha. All right, so those are your upcoming SEC starts for the basketball team. Let's hit a quick break real quick. We'll come back after this and wrap the show up. Make sure you go follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Tigers Avenue, for daily updates on the show and all things LSU sports. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to click off and hit that subscribe button at Tigers Avenue. We broadcast all of our shows live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All right, guys, right back here to wrap the show up. We have one comment. Kenny, if you could throw that up for Brandon Reese. I wanted to touch on that real quick. He said, who's going to be under the most pressure next year, Fisher or Napier?
Ooh.
Both. I think it is evenly hot.
I would say Fisher more so.
I mean,
he's been there longer. He's had higher expectations.
I agree, but also I think Napier has not done so well in recruiting like Florida fans wanted to, and he went below 500 this year.
Yeah, 6 and 7.
The patience, I think, is already beginning to run thin, and I think they would pull the rug out from under Napier a lot quicker than A&M would Fisher.
In year 2?
Yes. Okay. Jimbo Fisher, 2013 national champion, who's been recruiting extremely well. Yes, is he struggling? Yes. But he's recruiting, and eventually you're looking at Georgia, who's continually recruiting high level, and when it just won their first national championship meeting. You think eventually the talent's going to catch up. And it looks like, Weigman and those guys at the end of the season the year against LSU, you think you have something there.
But Georgia also wasn't going like 8-4 and 4 and 5 and 7.
I get it, but Napier is ULL coach, and they could be trying it out. And if it don't work out, they don't work out. That's a big contract for Fisher.
I definitely think this year, for the question, this year Fisher is under a lot more heat. I think Napier at least makes year 3.
Maybe so. Real quick, last thing. Collegiate baseball released their preseason rankings. LSU was number 1 as expected. Also, you got some preseason All-Americans. Tommy White, Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens are all first team.
Trey Morgan was second team.
All-American, and Trey Morgan was second team preseason. Expectations
are high.
We do not need to be – it doesn't need to be said, but expectations are extremely high for the baseball season. Really looking forward to that. If the basketball season gets miserable, you can always look forward to baseball. So
February is right around the corner.
Absolutely.
We're already in Christmas, guys. February will be right around the corner.
All right, guys, it's been a great show. Appreciate you coming in, interacting, all your comments. Jacob and David, appreciate y'all joining in. Noah, Brandon, Merry Christmas to you all. Obviously, our next show will be after Christmas, so we'll take this time to say Merry Christmas to you all. Hope you enjoy your Christmas. I'm going to enjoy preaching on Sunday, Christmas morning. Pretty excited about that. First time I get to do that. So I'm pretty pumped for that. Yeah, absolutely. National Signing Day was great. Transfer portal's been doing really well, and it seems like there's going to be some more news tomorrow. So we'll keep you updated on that on our Twitter. Hey, we'll catch you next time here in the Tigers Avenue. 5-Star Hero, take us out.
Who that 5-star? And the LSU Tigers, LSU Tigers.